Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, and subscribing. For everybody else, thank you for being on this journey with me. I appreciate all of your help, your love, your support, and your comments. It goes a very long way. So guys, anybody out there watching this video, and not just me, but any YouTube creator, especially us little ones, liking, commenting, and subscribing and watching the videos are a huge way to support your friend or your fan or whatever, something you're a fan of. But, it's free and it is so easy to support somebody by doing something simple as liking, commenting, subscribing, and watching your videos. So keep doing that. It means a lot. And thank you from the bottom of my heart that you guys are on this journey with me. So we are continuing on spectacular 31 days of Halloween. As you can see, I have my cute alien earrings that are orange from Melissa Blue Delish, not a sponsor, but a friend. And I will put her information at the end. I'm going to talk to you guys about a controversial topic today about reincarnation and my past life experience. A lot of people were going to hear that and roll their eyes. And I challenge each of you to have an open mind about the situation. More than half of the world's population believe in reincarnation, and a very small percentage of Christians do. There are some, majority don't, but there are some who do. I am neither Christian or, anything else really. I'm more of a pagan person, but I grew up Christian and I have never heard in any of the churches I've ever gone to of reincarnation being a true thing. So, yeah, let's just have an open mind to it because, quite frankly, you can prove reincarnation, and there have been people who have done it. It's just a lot of people are afraid. But I'm trying to respect everybody's belief systems here. So I'll be respectful to yours. You be respectful to mine. Be good down in the comments. Okay, guys? Okay. So before I get into this whole thing, there is a concept that I want to talk to you about because if I don't, it won't make sense in the truth of my story. So there is a concept, an idea, a theory out there that a child does not actually decide to stay in their body until they're between the ages of 3 to 5. That means that the soul of the child is either not there at all or it's hopping in and out. But they have a decision to make, and it's like a free pass. They have up until the age of 5 to decide if they want to go or not. And the reason I am telling you this is because of what happened to me. And I didn't want to stay, but it's hard to wrap your mind around it because I have seen some kids that you can look at and realize that there's truly nothing there at that moment. There's no soul, there's no personality, there's nothing. This little baby is just a shell. But then there's other times when you can see this little baby and see its personality, and there's many things to attribute that to. But one of the theories is that the soul is hopping in and out and they haven't decided to stay or not. So my story starts at 2 years old. Quite frankly, it was my second birthday. I have memories before this, but this is a different type of memory. It's strange. So let me explain to the best of my ability. I remember walking around the house with a man. And this man, nobody else saw, and I don't think anybody saw me communicating with him. Tall guy, dark brown hair, brown mustache, like wearing khakis and a white shirt. And I knew him But I was starting to lose what I knew, and it bothered me like no other. But I'm walking around with him, and he is pointing to people in the room. That's your mom. That's your dad. That's your brother. That's your grandma. That's your grandpa. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this again. And he explained to me the reason why. I remember there being an actual conversation of the reason why, but it went away. It went away so fast because I was like, oh. But then again, I was fighting it. I can't explain to you guys how I was in two places at once, because it was like I was in my home but I wasn't. And I didn't want to be in this little girl's body. I wasn't in that body. I wasn't in 2-year-old Lisa's body. I was outside, and I was speaking to my friend, who I'm pretty sure is my guide. But I told him how I didn't want to do this again. I don't want to do this again. I know people hate me. No one's going to like me. Like, I knew for sure that I was going to have a difficult time with people bullying me, and people being really hateful towards me. And I knew that was going to happen. And I didn't want it. I didn't want to be here. And I fought. Even though I knew there was a reason, I fought tooth and nail to try to get out of it. And he kept telling me, you know, you need to relax. This is part of it. You know, you need to let go. Um, these people love you here. And then I started slipping into this 2-year-old's body. And I can't explain it to you, except the first thing that I noticed was being able to see my nose and then my cheeks. And it bothered me so badly. It actually still bothers me to this day. I can't stand looking out and seeing my nose. And most people don't even realize that that's happening, but I hate it because I had such a strong memory of feeling like I'm stepping into a mask. This is not me. I'm stepping into this child, into this mask, and this is what she's covered with, and she's going to be fat, and she's going to have a bad time. She's going to bullies, and she's, you know, going to have a very, you know, not happy life. And I was fighting it so hard, but it was slipping. And I was slipping away, and everything that I started to know, all the knowledge that I had, was going away so fast, and it was a shock. I remember after the initial shock of seeing the mask that I was in, meaning 2-year-old Lisa's body, I ran behind the couch to hide because I was half scared, half angry, having a breakdown. I don't know. I didn't want to be there. And I got so angry because I couldn't see over the couch. I was too short. You see, a few minutes before, I had no mask on, and I was a full-grown woman or a full-grown female being. I did not want this again. And I was getting so mad at this little girl that I am now trapped in. I can, you know, I'm wearing a mask. This isn't me. And I'm running around and I'm still hearing him say, you know, that is your mom, that is your dad, that is your brother, that's your grandparents, that's your cat, you know, stuff like that. And it's your birthday and they're really excited and your parents love you so much, especially your mom. Your mom loves you so much. But it didn't click with me. I wanted out. I remember going to the door, to the front door, which was glass, and then there was a screen behind it. But I was looking out, and some of the neighborhood kids and families were coming over to my second birthday party. And I looked at two of these girls who were trying to sneak away. They didn't want to be there. And I'm talking to my friend who has the mustache, and I'm like, they hate me. They don't want to be here. And he's like, yeah, they don't like you because you're a kid. But there's something else about you that they don't like either. And they don't even know why. But yeah, they don't like you. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to continue to go through this. I don't need this again. And he's like, they're not going to be a big part of your life, but you're going to have to deal with it. And it was such a hard thing for me to process because I had come from something more peaceful. I feel like I was almost in a healing state because I feel like I had a big shock. Something horrific happened to me in my previous life. And the fact that I was being asked to repeat another life really bothered me. And I don't remember going through and having a soul contract or anything like that. I honestly remember the pain that I felt as whoever I was before Lisa and stepping into this body that I hated and being covered by this mask of a little girl that I knew people were not going to like. And I was going to have a very difficult life. And I was going to have to try to prove myself really hard for some reason. And it was really sad. And I didn't want to do it. I really didn't. And everything slipped away. It left me extremely depressed. And I had flashes of who I was before I was Lisa many times throughout my life, but especially in those first few years. So I'm talking about like 3, 4, 5. I knew I was somebody else, and I would get those realistic flashes, and it would depress me so much, and I didn't want to do it. I don't know why, but there was a point where I was approximately either 5 or 6 years old that I sat down and made a conscious effort to be a kind, good person. I had to be, because no one was going to like me otherwise. And even though people would use me, at least I wouldn't be hated. And I went through a very awful time growing up. I was bullied to the point of harassment. I was beat up. I was kicked in the face. I had urine placed in my yacht lockers, from both upper and lower classmen. Because I was different, because I was fat. I don't know. That was the catalyst for most people, that they couldn't get over the fact that somebody was overweight. Turns out I have a very serious medical condition that I've had my entire life, and makes it very difficult to lose weight. And I have been misdiagnosed for, how old am I? In my 30s. I've been misdiagnosed for over 30 years, and I wasn't getting the proper medical treatment at that point. But making the conscious effort of being one of the kindest, nicest people, even though I knew I was going to get taken advantage of, was better for me than being completely alone and having no friends at all. And I had some very good friends eventually. You know, there were several people in my life that I've been very lucky to have friends. But uh, I've not been good at being Lisa. I've let her down a lot. And I know part of that is just plain selfishness, that I'm angry that I lost the knowledge that I knew. I'm angry that I lost the person that I was. And it was such a traumatic event that I feel like I've mourned it the rest of my life. And it would have been easier if I didn't remember that. But I remembered it for a reason. Flash forward to approximately 2015, and I went to a hypnotist. And I had a very odd experience there. But part of the hypnotism, and she kind of had a leading hypnotism that will help you with a scenario. So I saw my friend there in my hypnotic state, and he was the same person I saw at 2 years old, except he had aged up appropriately. So he had gray hair and a gray beard now, and I knew who he was. I still don't remember his name, but I knew who he was, and he was he had been there the whole time. He has been here with me the whole time. So I want to think that he's a guide. Um, and he just told me that he couldn't interfere. And as much as it hurt him to see me in pain, it was part of the process. I feel so alone. And I think it's because I remember what it was like before I was Lisa. And I know that's strange for people. But it was such a traumatic event for me that I never could let go. I still have nightmares about it to this day. And while I have enjoyed many things as Lisa, I feel like I've let her down a lot. And there are times that I don't even associate myself with Lisa. And I know this sounds crazy. I know this sounds like I have a DID or something. I don't. This is part of a past life experience that was so strong that it stayed with me. It was a shock. Going into who Lisa was and is was a shock to me on a soul level. And I know that it's going to be hard for people to wrap their minds around, but I have been able to talk to other people about this experience who do believe in reincarnation, and I am not alone, so that helps me very much. But one thing that really kind of made it better for me was up until COVID, I've been a nanny, and the little boy that I nanny with was sitting with me one day, and we were talking about something I don't remember. And he's like, "Oh, I'm so happy I found you again." And I'm like, "Buddy, what do you mean?" And he's like, "Don't you remember we used to know each other? Remember before you were Lisa? You know, you were my friend, and I missed you, and I'm so glad that I know you again." And that made it all worth it right there. I had validation. And to be fair, this little boy, I had a very special connection with. I felt like he was like my little nephew or something. I had validation that day. And while I may not remember him, he remembered me. And he said, "Well, you told me you were going to find me, and you found me. Here we are." So that's worth a lot to me. So, what do you guys think? Do any of you have any reincarnation stories? Anything similar where you had a shock on the soul level? Do you remember your past lives? Would you like me to read your past lives? Because I can definitely do that. Just go to www.lisatiabrink.com, leave a comment down below, or you can DM me. If you mention this particular video, you'll get a special surprise from me. All right, guys, so that is all for today. I hope that everybody has a good night or day wherever you are. Remember that every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.